Starting stream, alright. Okay. You're alive. The internet can totally see you now. Hi. Welcome back to my humble little channel. It is I, Michelle, aka Chat-Mort, obviously. So, basically, the stream title is exactly what's going on right now. Give me just a moment, I apologize. I am sharing that currently to Twitter. I can't sleep, and it's making me furious. So, the angrier I get, the less I am able to calm my mind to make me sleep. So now I can't sleep at all, and I'm sick of it. I'm irate, and my mind won't stop racing. So, hi, here I am. This is how I deal with my issues, which is clearly not a good way at all. Just let me check. Give me just a moment to make sure. Okay, good. It is indeed the link sent. I was trying to inform you that the link sent, so that's good. Cool. Hi, one person watching. Welcome. Yeah, the title pretty much says it all, and I can't sleep, and it's making me really upset because I hate this. I try so hard to be on a normal sleep schedule. I'm not very good at it, but like today I tried exceptionally hard to be on a good sleep schedule. Exceptionally hard. I stayed up all day. I didn't let myself nap despite the fact that the night before I got like maybe 2 hours of sleep. So I was exhausted all day. And I wanted to take a nap, but because people always tell you, no, don't take a nap, it'll make your sleep schedule even more absurd and non-existent, I resisted the urge to take a nap. And it was hard because I was really tired. I couldn't keep my eyes open for most of the afternoon and the evening. So finally I'm tired enough to go to bed. So I lay down in bed with plenty of time to calm down, relax. I'm playing relaxing puzzle games on my phone. I'm just messing around, just chatting with tech support husbando, just normal calming things. And he goes to bed at a normal time, and I'm laying there, 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 and I'm not falling asleep. And the room's too hot, so I flip around, and then the sheets aren't covering my back, so I feel exposed and anxious. So then I bundle myself back up, but stick my foot out so I'm not too hot. And then that foot's too cold, and then the longer I go after having put my phone down, my mind keeps racing and racing and racing. And I couldn't sleep. So here I am, and I'm angry about my predicament. So hi. Hey, how are you? Quick reminder to the few of you here, don't forget to change it to live chat so you can actually see what's going on. Just since I'm not sure what to do with my whole like OBS format. I did put the chat down there, obviously, but unfortunately when you do like a browser source thing in OBS, it will not allow you to do the live chat. It always auto switches back to top chat. So just so you know, if you look at the actual like YouTube live chat, you'll be able to see everything, whereas on the actual like OBS capture you can't. So freaking I don't know. I have wine. Are you shocked? It's plum wine, and it's actually pretty good. I'm getting desperate to figure out ways to help me sleep. So I'm drinking a little bit of wine. Usually that helps me. I was considering making like, what kind of teas? It's not chamomile. I think I might have like chamomile lavender tea, which sometimes helps me sleep, but even tea that's supposed to help you sleep has some caffeine in it, and I find that to an extent that it doesn't seem to help me sleep, probably due to that. So hi. Yeah, I am frustrated AF. That's how the kids say it, correct? I'm really distraught because I want to sleep. I want to be normal. It was funny because it was today or yesterday I actually read an article that, granted, I found through Tumblr, but I was reading an article about how the more scientists study mankind throughout the years and throughout its evolution as a species, you know, it's not natural for humans to sleep all night. Then I happened to be talking to a friend about this earlier. He brought it up just a little bit ago on Twitter. Virtually the same thing. The more that's discovered about, is it even anthropology? My brain refuses to work despite the fact that it won't go to sleep either. Anyway, the more that's discovered about man throughout the ages and just about our biology, the more the evidence corroborates that we're not really supposed to be like sleeping all night. You know, you're supposed to take a couple naps throughout the day. That's the more natural, healthier cycle for people, and it helps people to live longer. And they're actually, I think they're starting to discover that lack of sleep is actually a bigger contributing factor to heart attacks and heart disease overall than even eating unhealthy diets. Then again, this article was shared through Tumblr. That's how I found it. So clearly it's going to be a source that is going to want to reward you for being as lazy and unhealthy as possible. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. It was just one study that I saw. Hi everybody. Totally normal, have a drink. Anthropology is the study of humans. Okay, see, I thought that was correct, but then I don't know. I was worried that it might not have been what I thought it was. And yeah, glasses. I went to bed. When I go to bed, I take my contacts out. So because I got back up, I just put my glasses on. It's easier. Yeah. You read something a few years ago. You're supposed to sleep for 6, be awake for 2, then asleep. Yeah, I've seen things similar to that also, where it says you're supposed to sleep for part of your like sleep cycle of the night, then get up and do something, you know, fairly low pressure, fairly calm for a couple hours, and then go back to sleep, which kind of does seem to work for me. I think like if I take naps in the early afternoon or evening, and then I'm up for a couple hours and just do some like housework, or I do my like video editing and stuff like that, and then go back to bed, I feel a lot better the next day. And I don't know, I think it's always, society tells you that you are supposed to sleep for 6 hours a night, maybe 8, and then you're supposed to go all day without sleeping, and I feel so horribly ill when I try to do that. I know part of that, and I'm not trying to make excuses at all. This is not an excuse or anything, but I have pretty bad fatigue, which is definitely in part due to my depression. So I know those things tend to make you very lethargic, and I know whether it's just because of those things or partially just me biologically, I need way more sleep than the average person. So knowing that, I need to take better care of myself, and I need to be more proactive and figure out like what sleep schedule works for me specifically. And it sucks because, you know, maybe in a decade, perhaps, if society still exists, and it probably will to some extent, maybe then they will start changing work schedules. Maybe a lot more of it will be work from home type things, and maybe then work and just the way that our days are structured culturally will be more accommodating, you know? Yay, oh my god, hi Vorst, how are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe in the future, we will societally be a lot more accommodating of, like, a natural, healthier sleep cycle for people, but, you know, at this time, you can't do that. Like, I mean, it's not like I work 12-hour days, so I can come home after work and nap for a few hours, and then get up and, you know, do all, like, my errands and housework and stuff, and then go back to bed for the night, but it's just one of those things, you know, I know this about myself, so I have to take responsibility, figure out what schedule works for me, and stick to it. So even if it's like two like shorter sleeps as opposed to one long one during the evening and night, at least then it'll still be consistent, because the consistency is what I lack right now. Because I'm always like fighting to get myself on a normal sleep schedule, and it just makes me miserable, and my mind starts going 100 miles an hour around maybe 9-10 p.m. So you're streaming about sleep. Aw, are you really? You're doing okay, though? I'm glad you're doing okay. Yeah, for a while, for like 3/4 of a year, what I did was like, I was at CVS, just, you know how sometimes you just go into CVS or a drugstore and you just kind of like look at homeopathic remedies, like just to see what the heck people are taking and what they offer. And I saw melatonin gummies, like CVS brand melatonin gummies, and I'm like, well, okay, I'll try them. And they were buy one get one half off. So I got these 2 like big jars of melatonin gummies, and then, you know, maybe once a week, a couple nights a week for the last like 3/4 of a year, up until the last few months, I would take a melatonin gummy or 2 if I couldn't sleep, and it helped a lot. But then you don't want to develop a dependency on those things. So, I mean, I know melatonin is a natural, it's a natural chemical that the body produces, but still, I don't want to get to the point where I depend on that to sleep well. So I took it very intermittently, and I just didn't get any more after I ran out. Yeah, Ralph is awesome. So how are you guys? I apologize as always for just getting on here kind of completely randomly, completely spur of the moment. I planned on streaming last night, and then I think I just started feeling really depressed and crappy and not very good, so I couldn't make myself stream last night. I thought I might, but then I didn't. So, anyway. And then there's Glasses Girl. Thank you, Malevolent Rider. I appreciate that. Yeah, well, exactly. That's very true, Vorst. Like, even if something is a naturally occurring supplement, if you are feeding it to your body, that's that amount of that chemical that your body does not have to make to get the normal, healthy, desired effect. So yeah, I get that. Like, you have to be careful. In like high school, I bought myself ibuprofen PM, as silly as that is. But it supposedly was not a sleeping pill. It supposedly was not like habit forming, but I think it claimed to ease aches and pains associated with like things that keep you up at night, like aches and pains that prevent you from sleeping. So it was a peculiar combination of normal ibuprofen and like a sleeping pill. So I remember I bought ibuprofen PM in high school just in case I needed it. And it was so funny. It was like my mom was very, very disturbed by that. It was like I was taking a scary bad drug, or I had like scary, spooky, like non-prescription drugs lying around. It's like, dude, I take ibuprofen constantly for my stress headaches, or I did in high school at least. Fortunately, I don't have to now, but I don't know. I still have some of that. I never finished that like bottle of them. I just didn't take most of them. I'm not going to be a guest on anything tonight, Malevolent Rider, just because stuff like that terrifies me. Streaming with people, even my friends, scares me. So, maybe sometime in the future if I were to really prepare ahead of time and talk to the people ahead of time. Alright, except for your current relationship issues. Well, if you want to tell us about them, that's fine, but don't feel obligated to either, I would be happy to listen and attempt to provide some semblance of advice, but I make no guarantees as to how good that advice is going to be. I don't feel very good. I think I ate a bunch of really greasy food earlier, so that's probably not helping. And also it's too hot, and I can't sleep, and I'm one of those people, I'm just rambling about myself, I apologize. I'm one of those people who, like, I never was able to, like, pull an all-nighter when I was a kid. I could never stay up all night. Like, the next morning I would feel so horribly ill that I would just sleep for, like, the rest of the day. So, I don't know. I've always had a weird relationship with sleep, I guess. I'm gonna switch from the wine to my water. Because I'm always, like, horrifically dehydrated at night. I don't know why. Some good high quality ASMR sipping right there. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, everybody. You guys doing anything fun? I mean, aside from the relationship issue, I have absolutely nothing in mind to talk about. I had subject matter in mind for the stream I was gonna do last night, possibly, but I just decided not to, and I couldn't do it tonight. It's one of those things where mentally I'm kind of all over the place, and I'm really tired. My anxiety kicks up right when I try and go to sleep, of course, but I'm too tired to actually do anything particularly structured, so here I sit. A bit of grog and pizza has brightened my mood up. Good. Yeah, I ordered pizza earlier, and it's a very small, I just got a small pizza, a wee little one. And I ate one piece, and I'm basically saving the rest for later in the week. But I don't know. I find myself really struggling. Like, if I eat pizza more than 2 days in a row, just eating that much greasy food starts making me feel icky. So, I don't know. I have absolutely nothing in mind to talk about. Nothing planned. It's too hot in here. I've got the AC on, but it's still too hot. I don't know what to talk about. Phenomenal entertainment. Sylvanas Dark Angel is about to start. See, I've heard that name, but I've never watched whoever that is. That's one thing I need to, I don't know, I should probably stay up to date a little bit more on, like, the community or the genre and everybody within it and their schedules, but part of me doesn't really want to, because I need to be careful to maintain a balance of not dwelling too much on all the internet stuff, and I have to to an extent, keep my focus in real life, in the IRL sphere. But let me check Twitter. It did send, correct? I checked a bit ago that my tweet sent. Okay. I don't know. I could share on, like, my Facebook page for my YouTube channel that I'm streaming, but that doesn't really help much. I have a couple family members who, like, felt bad for me and liked my page, and some friends, but none of them are up at this time of night. When can you be a guest on Minions of the Zoo? I have no idea. I'm not gonna make any plans right now. I've got a lot going on, and I'm kind of struggling with some stuff, so unfortunately I can't give you a specific date. Oh, Facebook? Oh. Crap. I'll have to find it and link it. I'll link it here later. Ryder. Had fun watching Worski live today, did you? Yeah, I heard that, I haven't watched Andy in, well, about half a year now, actually. So, I heard that he was indeed kind of going back to more of his old style videos, the sort of lighthearted ones. So that's good. I mean, I go back and forth on Andy, obviously, how I feel about him. Sometimes I feel bad for him because I think he, in pursuing, like, what was popular at the time, as far as the blood sports nonsense, I think he alienated a lot of his audience. And I think any time that you appeal to that sort of, like, Jerry Springer type audience that those just shouting matches attract, those are the kind of fans who, more often than not, are going to be, I don't know, a lot less sympathetic, a lot less loyal, a lot less understanding, and a lot harsher if you don't entertain them, you know, 24/7, and that would be exhausting. So I know that has to be taking a toll on him. And I didn't even know until recently. I watched some of one of his streams like Thursday night, I think, and I had no idea he was actually hosting the Kumite on his channel. But like, that's crazy. Like, that's more than like Rush Limbaugh and people like that do a day. Like, just talking and hosting something for that long would completely exhaust you, you know? Oh, no Facebook. I'm sorry. Oh, I meant not my personal Facebook. I meant, I have a Facebook, like a page for myself as a content creator. It's not linked to my personal Facebook. It doesn't have any personal info on it. Yeah. Suspended from your job without pay. That's awful. It's really stressful. He was basically being led around on a leash by JF. I'll say it if you don't want to be petty and say it. He stopped watching him when he started that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I'm dying. My stomach is really mad at me. I don't know why. You know, it's one of those things where I've gotten to know some of the people who Andy really, really hated when the whole Discord thing happened and following it. And, you know, having heard their side of the story and having seen how Andy kind of went from, you know, trying to denounce the unethical behavior that was going on in the Discord, from that to just kind of trying to ruin people's reputations because negativity and controversy gets views, I kind of stopped being as sympathetic to Worski for a while at least. So I don't, you know, it's one of those things. It's like I'm always conflicted on this. Like, you see posts where people say, you know, a real friend actually isn't the kind of person who has your back no matter what. Real friends will actually call you out on your shit, you know. Real friends will tell you when you did something wrong, or when they disagree with you. It's one of those things. I don't know. I've always kind of been undecided as to how that works, you know. I try to be a good friend. I try to be the kind of person who's always there for people, because I'm far from perfect, you know, and everybody screws up and everybody needs support and friendship and stuff. But, you know, it's also important to be able to tell your friends, like, I think you screwed up, or, you know, I disagree with this, or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like I'm finally starting to get to know some people, including you guys, who are genuinely really, really awesome people, and I'm just, you know, completely floored by how funny and sweet and supportive you guys are of me. I don't know what I did to deserve that. And the more I feel that way, and the more really genuine, cool people like you guys I encounter and get to know, the more I feel like I'm becoming a much more loyal friend, to where, I don't know, it's one of those things where, I don't know, when people have been wonderful and kind and really genuinely good, cool people to me, and I know that their character is to be decent, good people, you know, then, like, when Andy is constantly shitting on them and trying to ruin their reputations and mocking them all the time, in ways that have nothing to do with anything wrong they've ever done in the past, it's like, it's hard for me to be a fan of you when you're constantly, like, trying to ruin the careers and reputations of people who have become my friends and who I know are decent people. So I'm very biased. You're saying awesome because you don't know us, lol. Not necessarily. I'm overwhelmed by how cool some of you guys are, you know? I mean, my channel's minuscule and it's growing very, very slowly, obviously, but, like, if I if I talk on Twitter about like having had a really cruddy day or something, or just talking about my depression and how it affects me, I always have a couple people who message me and say, "Are you okay? Do you want to talk?" And I don't know. I'm just amazed at how kind and selfless people are, and you know how much you guys genuinely care about me and each other. And it's weird. It's like the internet for me has actually been very heartening, you know, and very encouraging as far as how I view people overall and the world overall, I guess. How can someone go about clearing their name when they haven't done anything wrong? That's really hard. It's funny you ask that, because I've been in a very similar situation to that, but not online necessarily. I'm sure there are a lot of them that I don't know about. I'm sorry, you can tell I'm slowing down because I'm starting to feel really icky and tired. But there were a few rumors that ever got back to me that were spread about me, like in high school, possibly in middle school too, but I don't know. And it's amazing to think now about how many were probably spread about me that I never even heard about. I wish I was half as interesting as probably most of the school thought I was, but it was just because I was extremely shy and extremely timid. I was an easy target, and you know, there was no way I was social enough that I was ever going to hear any of these things about me, or I was ever going to actually interact with any of the people spreading rumors about me. And that happened to me in high school. There was some really, really weird stuff that happened, like people saying that I had slept with a certain person, at least one, and what sucked about the other one that I know of is that there was a rumor spread about me that I was either stalking some of my teachers or like writing them love letters or something really bizarre like that. And it was one of the people who I was very, very close to and trusted who either spread this rumor, I don't know if they started it, but they told people that it was true. And it was one of those things where my anxiety was so terrible that I wouldn't have thought at the time that I would have even been able to, like, oh my god, hi Magog, ass rape, indeed. Yeah, like at the time there was no way I would have confronted the person who was spreading rumors about me, and there was no way I could have talked to the people who believed the rumors to say, like, I'm not stalking anybody, you know, I'm not like writing love letters to, it was very weird. So Kenny, I don't know what to tell you. I probably didn't deal with that well at all in high school, just because I didn't deal with it at all because I was so shy. I don't know. My situation was easier because that was an environment that I finally left. You know, thank Christ high school ends and I don't have to deal with any of those people anymore. And, you know, my mindset now is that if any of those people were naive enough or desperate enough to hear controversy, to believe things about me that were that completely absurd, like, you know, that's their loss. I'm not interested in what people who are that gullible or desperate to hear controversy think about me. So I don't know if that's particularly helpful advice for you, but that's kind of the way I look at it in my situation. I don't know. It's just one of those things where, you know, if people are going to believe a rumor about you that's absurd, that's one of those things that you're always going to encounter, especially online. Everybody knows everybody, and they're these disgusting, like, incestuous little, like, vacuumed cliques of people, you know, from all over the world. Like, we're all in each other's faces and in each other's business all the time, and it's an inevitability, you know, that shit like that is going to happen, and you just kind of have to, I don't know, I think everybody deals with it differently, but that's just one of the things that I eventually settled on when it came to, you know, a bunch of people in school believing these bizarre rumors about me stalking people and stuff. You know, what I finally realized was, like, if these people who should know me better than that would believe something so bizarre and ludicrous about me, then that's their problem. Like, I don't give a shit what people who are that deluded think about me. I don't know if that helps or not. So I don't know. I don't know if that's helpful. So, how is everybody? How are you, Magog? I know Nick tweeted at you earlier. Was that today or yesterday? I have such a horrible grasp of time, I don't even know when it was. Like, saying that you should game with him. I want to see a bunch of people stream Mount Your Friends. Have any of you guys played Mount Your Friends? Because, holy God, that is the greatest game of all time. It is freaking hilarious. I don't know. I like watching people stream lighthearted games. Ugh. My stomach is not impressed with me, and I'm not sure why. So, what do you think, everyone? What's going on in your little lives? Is there anything else I can try to offer advice on? I will fail, but man, I will try my hardest. What advice do I know? Don't do the drugs. Stay in school, probably. Don't eat roadkill. That's a fairly safe piece of advice to give, I imagine. Mount Your Friends is hilarious. Yes. Oh my God, it's incredible. It's majestic. Oh my God, that's so cool, Horst. It's so cute. I never know anything about the games that are happening because I watch very few Let's Plays anymore. I watched Game Grumps for a while, but I got really tired of them. And I watch Oni Plays, you know, Oni NG. I freaking love Oni Plays. But he it's kind of odd and random, like, what games he actually plays. And I don't know. Like, sometimes I'll watch Delirious and, like, Venos and cartoons. Sometimes I'll watch Cry. And I watch PewDiePie now, actually, now that he's become, like, a very, very broken, like, nihilistic man who has no faith in humanity. Like, now I think PewDiePie is hilarious, so I do watch him some, but again, he almost never plays Let's Plays, so, like, I don't know. I don't know much about any of the games that are coming out, and, you know, when the Steam store, like, pop-ups come up, I close them all, because I don't like things popping up in my face. Innuendos or not, I don't like it, so I just close them, even if they're games that I would probably adore. You're a high school dropout and you just retired. Holy crap, dude, that's amazing. How did you do that? Oh, at this rate, I'm not gonna retire at 36. Definitely not. Tell us your secrets. Just lucky shit and bad decisions. Those are not very encouraging secrets, I must say. I found a hair. Amazing. A 2-foot long blonde hair. Where could that have come from? Hi, White Skull. Game Grumps were cool. I only unsubbed a few months ago. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything... I don't know. There's nothing, like, wrong with the Game Grumps, but I watched them for so long that I started getting really tired of them. Sorry, I just totally kicked, like, everything that I own, and it rattled probably loudly. It's one of those things where, like, if you watch any one channel for a long time, you're going to see them change. And, like with Game Grumps, they went from a very, very small little studio of, what, like half a dozen people to they've got like the super mega guys editing their videos, Barry left to like work on movies. It's all very strange, and just some of the like political stuff that's injected into it. Like, I know I need to grow up, and I know specifically very far left politics are always going to be injected into every facet of entertainment, but it just got to be where I'm like, it's just stupid. Like, you're constantly trashing, you know, evil, scary capitalists and their horrible, greedy business ventures and stuff, but like, you guys are a small business who are achieving things and making a living through your own hard work. Like, is the contradiction there not at all noticeable to you? Are you pretending not to notice it? I don't know. Just silly things like that kind of get to me after a while. Sorry. Oh, I bumped the thingy. I stopped watching gamer YouTubers as a whole a few years ago. Yeah, I don't know. I've kind of gone all over the place with what I watch. I watch a lot of like girly makeup videos now. I watch a lot of super depressing documentaries. Like, if there's a documentary on progeria on YouTube, I've watched it. If there's a documentary on Harlequin babies, you better believe I've watched it. Documentaries about palliative care and people dying in horrible, terrifying, painful ways, you better believe I have watched it. I'm a connoisseur of depressing documentaries on YouTube. So, I do watch political commentary also, but like, it's mostly just from my friends. Like, if I like people as people, I will watch their stuff. Hold on. Yep, cat hair. I got it now. I watch porn and things like porn. Obviously, I'm talking about YouTube stuff, though. Like, yeah, I mean, I dedicated an unhealthy portion of my time to how much I love Angela White, but that's not YouTube time. I'm gonna marry Angela White. She doesn't know it yet, but I am. It cuts even deeper when someone you consider a friend is the one responsible. I know. Believe me, I know. That was my situation. And it's like, it's a person, in my case, who I still care about and I wish them the best. And it's one of those things where I don't even know, I have no idea, like, what most of my, like, friend group from high school even thinks. To my knowledge, everybody still likes that person or remembers that person fondly, so I have no idea, but I get it. It can be really difficult. You stopped watching Game Grumps not long after Dan replaced John. Yeah, that's one of those things too. I love JonTron. Oh my god, he's amazing. And I didn't mind that he left, and I really liked Danny, but, like, I don't know, like, with John, it was very, very much, like, improv comedy, witty, off-the-cuff, like, high-energy banter. With Danny, it's kind of like a feel-good, like, stoner buddy hangout and have philosophical conversations thing. It's not, the energy, and I would say even almost the genre that it falls into is so different that it's just not really my thing. Aaron and Susie started to annoy you. Yeah, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with Ego Raptor, and Susie, I feel bad for feeling this way, but I didn't care for Susie at all. It was one of those things where, like, Susie, she's adorable and she's sweet and creative, but she's just not funny. She's not. So, like, when Aaron would start getting pissed at people and be like, well, people are just idiots, you know, they don't like my wife, and then he would put Susie in more and more and more Let's Plays when she's not funny, it's like, that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't start a business with friends or family. You know, you're going to have a conflict of interests. Like, if you want your business to flourish, you should, use people who do the job well. You know, you shouldn't just keep throwing your wife in because she's really sweet and cute and she's there all the time, and because you think she's hilarious because you're in love with her. Like, that kind of got on my nerves as well. There's a secret porn section of YouTube. I've seen some interesting things on YouTube. I watched like a 4-hour like beauty expo demonstration on how to like bleach butts, and it was actually very interesting and very informative, you know. The comments were hysterical. Everybody's like, you know, I came here with one thing in mind and I left wanting to get it done myself. So that was interesting. There's some very, very interesting stuff on YouTube that I am surprised gets past the terms of service, you know? Really want John to put out more content. I do too. I don't feel good. I'm probably going to go soon and go lay back down in bed and then not sleep and get angry all over again because I can't sleep. Yeah, I wish John uploaded more content too, and I remember him either saying in a video or stating somewhere on social media that he had made like 3 different like installations of JonTron, and they just didn't feel like him. They didn't feel like JonTron, so he just scrapped them all. And like, to me, I mean, it's good that a creator has high standards for themselves. And it's good that a creator only wants to put out something that, like, they feel is a good reflection of them. But anything John does, or anything that John's, like, production team does would be hysterical. So that was really depressing to hear. Yeah. Some ordinary gamers. Okay, I'll look him up. Come on, dude, it's amazing. Like, how can you bleach something that sensitive and not, like, horribly scar it? It's very interesting to me. Well, anyway. I hate to cut this off so abruptly, but I really don't feel good. I should probably try and get some sleep. I don't know what my stomach is doing, but I'm probably gonna go and feel sorry for myself. Oh, God. Anyway. I guess that's it for now. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out and spending time with me and helping me be angry at my insomnia. What do you... Go away, Karl Rove. You're not allowed here anymore. But yeah, anyway. I'm probably gonna go. So, I love you guys. Thank you for showing up, however briefly. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.